Well, a lot of working back and forth. The governor did not want to lose it seems did not want to lose the word 15, the number 15 when it came to the minimum wage. So I just kind of like what we had talked about yesterday, $15 minimum wage, but it's going to take longer for us to get there upstate. And Christine, you're saying that, but quicker to get there downstate.
Right. So downstate, they have to reach the $15 an hour minimum wage by 2018. Westchester and Long Island don't have to reach that until 2020. And areas north of Westchester don't have to reach it until beyond 2021. North of Westchester, which would be us, only guaranteed at $12.50 by 2021.
So actually, it's going to be $12.50 by 2022. And the increase to $15 will then, after that, it says the increases in upstate's minimum wage will be tied to an inflation index until it reaches $15 an hour. So we really won't see maybe 2025. I don't know. And who knows who's in office at that time, what's going to happen. You don't know. But $12.50 an hour by 2022 for upstate.
And, of course, the market is going to dictate this because, if you're working for a company downstate that moves operations north, which is what they're saying is going to happen, you're going to get a more competitive salary than,
Do they really think that, and I'm hearing all the doom and gloom, that you're going to see people move their companies upstate because they can get cheaper. Well, that'd be an awesome thing if that were to happen.
I don't think they're moving it because of that. I simply think that they're moving it because of property values here.
Okay. I just don't. I mean, who's moving up here? I haven't seen anybody. Is that what they're predicting will happen? Yeah. Well, maybe it'd be nice, as opposed to moving to Mexico.
So that's a good point. So 2025, it'll be $12.50 an hour upstate.
Well, there's no guarantee of 2022 will be at $12.50.
Okay.
So that's a pretty substantial. I mean, we're at what now? We're 8-something now. So it'll begin to go up, and by 2022, upstate New York will be at $12.50 an hour. After that, they're going to use the inflation index until it reaches $15 an hour. But that's kind of an ambiguous, where there's really no hard, concrete. We're at $9 an hour right now. There's no hard, concrete measure by which we actually get there.
So basically, this amounts to 50 cents a year for the next 7 years is what it'll be.
Yeah, so it's not really it's not as
huge,
big as everybody's been worried about, right?
No, it's not.
And
that's probably a good thing for local business owners. There is some movement there. It's not a drastic overnight 40% increase in pay for all your staff.
However, there are a lot of business people and a lot of I think the farm lobby group coming out saying that this is terrible. Business groups coming out and saying that this is just going to continue to destroy New York and make New York more business unfriendly. And others really believe, there are those that believe that there should be no minimum wage, that are against minimum wage altogether, and that the market should determine. So if you're only paying $3 an hour, then chances are you're not going to get employees. You're certainly not going to get high qualified employees. So you have to pay more to get better employees because your business calls for that. So some of those people are against the minimum wage no matter what it is. They'd be against it at $9 an hour right now.
And we're kind of seeing some of that happen with Walmart. Walmart announcing, a couple of, maybe more than a month ago at this point, that they are increasing their minimum wage because of the fact that they need more qualified workers, that they're having an HR issue.
How much of a raise are they talking?
I think they're going to $15. Walmart. I thought they were going to $15.
Across the board, like up here too?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Oh.
I thought it was starting at 10.
Oh, is that what they're doing? But there are many that have gone down that $15 an hour road, and that would include here. Minimum wage here will be $12.50 by 2022, but we're going to be at $15 an hour for these fast food workers. They're going to be making more money than somebody that's working somewhere else at a more high qualified position. It's very interesting how this whole thing is going down. But it was passed. Along that line, they've also passed a family leave care bill, and this is going to affect all of us. And according to the governor, it will not affect companies because this is going to mean, I believe it'll be 70 cents a week. You're going to get a tax, and it's going to come out of your paycheck starting next year. And it will be a certain amount of money every week that will come out, and that goes into like an unemployment fund. And that will mean that you can take up to 12 weeks off family leave for an emergency, and you would receive up to half of your pay. So that was put into play.
I was almost on the brink of saying, the governor did an excellent job with this whole package because I think the wage, in my opinion, needed to be raised. Again, I didn't think it should be drastic. Here's what he didn't do. The employees pay for this, right? And you just said that.
Even people that would never take a family leave for 12 weeks. But you never know, right? I guess you never know.
It's like
you're
insurance,
going to pay.
I guess.
Everybody, it's an insurance plan. Everybody's going to pay. It's like putting into your unemployment insurance.
So they didn't cut taxes. They didn't reduce what they spend.
No, I can tell you that there is a middle class tax cut as well for people making up to $300,000 a year. So those are the three big issues that came out of it, and it's going to be interesting to see what the Republicans and Democrats have to say out of this. Brindisi, Griffo. And of course, Mark Butler. It'll be interesting to see what these guys have to say. I already know what Claudia's going to say, so I don't even have to talk to her. On the line is Vic. Good morning, Vic. You're on the radio.
Hi. Hi, Bill. How are you?
Good.
We're talking about the $15 an hour, and that sounds good. But in 2025, with the prices of food and gas, everything going up,
I know.
15 is going to seem like $8 an hour.
I mean, right? We don't know what's going to happen with the economy. What is $15 an hour going to be worth in 2025? I don't know.
Okay, but what I'm saying is the government knows what they're doing, and believe they're not giving you anything.
It does seem like this thing, by the time it was said and done, New York City gets their increase, and upstate is going to be, it's going to be trickling in over the course of the next 20 years.
Downstate,
10 years.
Before we do?
Downstate will be at, they're going to be at $15 an hour by 20, what was the date?
18, was it?
2018, 2018.
Yeah. But the price is downstate a lot higher than...
Sure it is, cost of living, everything else. Although I've heard some critics talk about this and say all this does because think about it, your legislators up here don't make any less than the legislators down there. So if you're a senator or an assembly person and you're from New York City, you make this amount of money. If you're that same assembly person upstate, you make the same amount. Mm-hmm. There's no special minimum wage for.
I did not know that. Okay.
For that. Now this person, and I was reading something on a criticism of the whole concept, upstate downstate, saying why should upstate make less? All it's doing is keeping us pigeonholed. It keeps us in that position where people upstate just don't make enough money to get out of the hole. And the fact is, though, that, obviously cost of living is less up here, but still. It's interesting.
Right.
It's going to take a long time to get up to $15 upstate.
Right. Bill, have a good day.
All right, Vic, thanks. We'll talk to Willie Waffle coming up. Interesting, and again, I can't wait to hear what the legislators have to say. We're going to try to squeeze everybody in here this morning. Here's Christine with an update. Good morning.